Hey folks, and welcome back to Shaggy's Car Shop. On tonight's episode, we're going to finally start chasing down some of these wiring issues. My guess it's probably going to be maybe an episode or two. I don't know. I got to, well, first things first, I'm going to redo some connections down here. So that way I can make sure I got good power and ground coming in, trace some wires, and I know when I turn on my radio, because I got an on-off switch on it, is shorting out and grounding through, sending power over to something else. So I got to start tracing all of that out. But all right, without any further ado, I'll bring you back over here and we'll get some wire ends replaced. So the first one we're going to replace is my main power that goes to my fuse block. Yeah, that one just kind of corroded off and it just needs a new one. Make sure these fit where I need them to fit, and they don't, of course. Alright, so found my other eyelets. They are in fact a 5/16. Take and get that on there. I'm half kind of wanting to double that over, but we'll see. Make sure that don't come off of there any. There we go, there's one. And we're going to cut this one, put a new end on that one too. There we go. Boom, those are on there. Alright, so I already pulled my radio out. I'm going to open up these two panels and this panel. This is my old fuse panel, and basically I got a trace where my ground wire comes in along this edge, comes up here and connects to everything. So, and then kind of go through this mess of wiring. But I know on my fuse block here I do have things marked of where it's supposed to go, because I put this in few years back just so fuses were easier to get. But yeah, I have my little on-off switch for my radio, and it was back feeding through, so I don't know what's going on. So let me get these panels popped off here and kind of get some stuff figured out, and we'll go from there. Alright folks, I've been working at this for quite a while, and this is the mess of wiring that I pulled out of up in here, and it cuts down and pops out right there. These wires, some of which are whoa, some of which are chewed off, and then the other ones were all back in here. So I have my fuel tank, I have my power, And then my bilge and aerator pump are still down in there. And then I have my trolling motor. So instead of, well, basically, so we have our main power coming in right here, our fuel tank. One of these is the bilge, one of these, excuse me, this is kind of a hard camera angle. The other one is the aerator. This one here is navigation and the ground. And again, I didn't wire this, but I'm trying to get it to contrast with stuff. We got about 18 wires going into one instead of doing it up in here where potentially it should have been, or up under the dash, or you just run one ground wire up and it kind of handles everything. But that's why up in this mess, I had current backfeeding because my bilge pump and something else was hooked up. I guess my navigation lights was kind of hooked up. The mice had chewed that. But let's see, interior lights, you turn them on, aerator, any of that stuff, it would make everything back feed through everything. So it was a ground issue. Yeah. And then I found, well, I was watching it up here on my fuel gauge. It was kept kicking it over to full. And yeah, it wasn't working too well. So I'm gonna have to go get some different colored wires. And I know, oh, my flashlight's still running. I know it's real hard to see. Back right up in there with that one cable, that's for my trolling motor. I left that one in there. It should not be chewed off. I kind of tugged on it. Seemed all right. But instead of running all these wires back through there, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right through here, hook in with all my motor controls, and go, and then that's going to pop out right here, and then I will tie into all this mess, and then that should, in theory, solve my wiring issues. Alright folks, so what I had to do, since I cut out the old wiring harness that ran on the inside of the boat, excuse me, I built a new wiring harness. I tried to run it up through this side and down through the little tube where they had it running, but it's not going to go. I even took a piece of, solid copper and tried to run it following along where my trolling motor cables come up and through, but it's just not going to go. So I figured the next best option, I have the end of it right here, and it comes up and it's going to run right along with my motor cables. I'm not tying all that together because I have to fix my speedometer and my water pressure gauge, and I need to get a new transducer, which is over there. So being I have all of that, I just kind of have this all laid together right now. Once I get my new hoses and everything else in, then it should be good. Then we'll tie everything together, zip ties, make it all nice. Plus I'll be moving that around to clean under there. But right now we're gonna try and just weasel this right on through. And just like that. I'm probably gonna check the length of these wires, snip a little bit off the end, and then I'll pull it back through so I actually have extra back over here. I'd rather have a little much on this side than over in here. Again, once I get everything all rewired and all my new hoses and everything ran, I am going to zip tie everything up out of the way. As you can see, I found some more mouse nest in there that I missed with the vacuum. And I have to run right about there. You can see where my navigational light goes. Well, here it is. All chewed on and destroyed, so I'm going to solder new wires, run them in, tie all of this together. Let me bring you back once I start soldering and running new wires, and then we'll kind of go from there. Alright folks, so I have everything all soldered together. Sorry I didn't get any footage of that. I thought I had my camera on. Apparently it shut off and I missed all my soldering. But on this I'm going to tie up, cover all this with this lovely little plastic stuff to keep it protected. And yeah, then the wiring project should be done. As you can see, I still have a utter mess going on under here with the dash, things of that nature, but I don't know how well you can hear it on there, but the aerator's functioning. My internal lights, you can see that little one there, this little one over here. I have yet to get to my wiring up around the front to take care of those internal lights. My bilge pump working good. Nav lights, all my gauges come on with the backlit. My tachometer, that one's controlled off the engine, but I don't know how well you can see it with the contrast, but right there, my rear light, boom, that functions. I also had my front light, which I got to clean up, but I had that in the front of the boat. That's all working. The only thing that's not working on here right now is my horn. And I did some wire testing with my multimeter here, and the horn is actually dead. So yeah, I'm ordering a new one of those so I can put that up in here, right up off to the side, and we'll go from there. My radio, I got to play with that a little bit. It's kind of working, kind of not. Volume's a little iffy, the speakers are shot. It doesn't want to change channels too much. I think it just needs to be used. I went and found a couple of old cassettes of some musicians I don't like that we had laying around the house, and I'm going to try that in there, see if those work, because I don't want to eat up any of my good cassettes. Alright folks, that's all I got for this video. Again, I had to basically run a new wiring harness from the back of the boat all the way around and up into the front because the mice had decided my wires tasted good or something. I don't know. But yeah, new wiring harness. I got to put back together my deconstructed wiring harness under the dash, but everything is actually working and functioning well. So I have all new wires going up in the side. I have a heck of a mess inside my boat, tools and wires and wire clipping. I found some more mouse nest when I was up in here. Moving forward, I have ordered a bunch of stuff I know I need from Amazon, and you know, a new horn. We're gonna have to replace the strap up front. My speedometer tube that just uses pressurized water or air, whatever it uses. The mice chewed that off, so I got a new one of those. I got to look for the water pressure tube. see if I can't find one on Amazon or whatnot. But yeah, lots and lots of stuff. And then once all this stuff is, all put back together, then I guess I can do a montage of me cleaning the inside of the boat. I got seats to redo and check over. Yeah, countless things. Oh, and I got to check all my trailer wiring and that. So, hopefully a bunch more videos. Right now I'm just kind of waiting on some stuff from Amazon, and then we'll go from there. All right, that's all I got. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.